Good morning and welcome to Gulfstream today on this blustery, as my partner likes to call it, Friday morning. The track is listed good. Unfortunately, we're off the turf and on the Tapeta for all the scheduled turf races today just due to the immense showers we've been getting throughout the week here. And the track is listed as good, but as you could see it from that pan shot there, our track crew does a very good job at getting this thing fast if we don't get any more rain.
Yeah, without a doubt. I was driving in yesterday. I told you I saw Kenny was in the backhoe yesterday,
Yeah.
bopping around here on the premises. So him and the crew done a good job, and our buddy Dennis put the Arby's down long enough to tie the lights down and stuff.
Exactly.
We got it all going on here today. But as Samantha said, unfortunately, we are off the turf today. The Rainbow is 10-race card here on Friday. The Rainbow's going to kick off in race number 5, $200,000 in the gross jackpot guarantee. Do take note, too, because there is some impending weather certainly in the area. You saw it yesterday, today, maybe tomorrow. We're going to move post time up gradually today. So by the end of the day, the last race is going to go off about 20 minutes earlier than scheduled, and we'll remind you throughout the day, but just take note of that. And so everything's going to be a little bit earlier. We'll make up a few minutes throughout the course of the day. About 20 minutes for the last post will be a little bit earlier. Good card today, and it's still, like we talked about yesterday, with these turf races that are now unfortunately off the turf. The beauty of the Tapeta is that they held it together pretty nicely, and you just saw the main track out there looking pretty good as well.
Yeah, it does. And with the first race, it kicks off the early pick 5. That pool grows huge as it gets closer to post time. Brian's got the ticket.
Yeah, we're going to take a look at it now. I had a lot of reworking to do. There were some good some key scratches today, unfortunately, and non-turf races, actually. And this is an $18 ticket for me, back-to-back singles. Looks like a very chalky double to me to start this card. And then in race number 3, the 1, Miss Athletic. Race number 4, we go to the 7, and that is Jigsaw. And in race number 5, that's off the turf in race 5. Take note, the top pick is now the 5. I'm still going to stick with Therapist, but I do think I thought he was vulnerable on turf, to be quite honest with you. I think he might be more vulnerable on Tapeta.
I definitely agree with that. And kicking off things is claiming $8,000 level, non-winners of 3 races, 5.5 furlongs on the Tapeta. We saw yesterday it seemed like the rail was quite good. The 1, 2, 3 paths on the Tapeta were pretty solid, but both you and I go to the far outside, Courageous Copper.
Make a mental note that on December 14th, inside horses were definitely advantaged yesterday on the Tapeta. We don't see it often, rarely if ever, to be honest with you. Usually the inside is not the place to be, and you can get some value the next time out, but horses were coming through on the inside very consistently yesterday. So just take note of that, maybe some vulnerable horses when we run back. I mean, it's right in front of you with Courageous Copper. I know Jose D'Angelo struggled a little bit to pick up wins at the championship meet, but the horses have been running well. And I think that's the key when you talk about cold barns and things like that. I think that's important to note. If Jose was 1 for 20 with 1 second, or 0 for 20 with 1 second, then I would be worried. He's got 9 underneath finishes. The horses have been running very, very well. They just haven't been getting their picture taken. I would think Courageous Copper is going to break that today.
It seems like he could, and he's kind of faced a lot of these same horses, like you like to say. The gang is really all here. The 2 Gone Nuts ran against this group last time as well, but just couldn't see it through to Courageous Copper as well.
He had significant trouble, Samantha. I'm not going to tell you he was going to make up the 6 lengths or whatever it was, and Fast Fixer, who won that race, was really good for Victor Barboza. But Gone Nuts would have been a lot closer, and now he's 3rd off with some significant layoff. So I do think he'll bridge the gap to Courageous Copper with a smooth trip. I don't think he beats him, though.
Race number 2, we are off the grass. This will be 5 furlongs on the Tapeta track. We only lost 1 out of this spot, the number 7, Fairhope Curly. I've got the early pick 4 ticket. We'll take a quick look at this, and I felt it a little more tricky, I think. We'll get to this race in just a second. Race number 3 is a really impossible race, but I took the 7 on top, Kiki. Race number 4, the 6 on top for me, Echo Lane and Mary Leitner. And in race number 5, that starts the Rainbow 6, I do have the 7, the best distance on top. $18 the play here. And on the Tapeta here for 2-year-old fillies, This is a good group because all of them, or most of them, are coming off of just a maiden special weight victory. You went to the 3 El Torreno on top, and let's watch the replay, and I'll let you talk about it.
Yeah, how about getting 8.5, almost 9-1 on this horse on debut?
Yeah.
She's going to win this race by 11 lengths, and this is just a decimation here. And I know it was at Presque Isle Downs, but that's Tapeta up there as well. So the good thing about this race off the turf is that, for the handicapper, I think it actually makes it, maybe easier is not the right word, but these are a lot of Tapeta horses.
Right.
The guessing game is a little more out the window now. Watch this horse home through the lane. A daughter of Speightstown, a homebred for Castleton Lions. Wow. And she was 8.8 to 1 that day. Well, bad news today is she's going to be about 3 to 5 probably.
Yeah.
As the scratch hurts any value. Look at her gallop home here under complete
Just easy
under complete wraps there. She's 7 to 5 on the morning line. We lose 22 points with Fairhope Curly coming out, and it's IRAD too.
Yeah, they're going to bet this horse a lot, and as they should. Bedrock Birdie, I think, deserves a little bit of attention because she's won 2 in a row now.
Yeah, and there's something to be said for that. And, let them watch who beat her on debut, came back to win. She's coming out of very, very live wages. She beat Great Venezuela.
Right.
And she read great, by the way, and you said it, Great Venezuela was really good in the turf
Yeah,
stakes the
very,
other day.
very well.
Bedrock Birdie's a game horse. The problem for her is how's this trip going to work from her? Is she going to the front and being laid on by El Torino? Is she going to try to take back and work out a trip? It's not ideal either way.
No, it could be very speedy inside here, and that could be a problem. The 6 Happy World, coming from Remington Park off of a win in the maiden special weight ranks there.
Yeah, and you know what? She gets hurt a little bit because we moved to Tapeta today because she had, I'll tell you what, you watch a lot of Remington races. I do too. I do trip notes there. You don't typically win turf sprints like she did.
Yeah.
And she was very, very impressive. A private purchase by the team here, and we'll see what we get today on Tapeta, but she's going to like all the pace up front, no doubt about that.
Yeah, she'll be the one looking for running late. Race number 3, it's claiming $12,500 level, 7 furlongs on the listed good main track. Scratch the 5 Austrian Kitty. It's a 6-horse field. The 1 on top for you. Just the exactas reversed here. Miss Athletic. Lucas Berticelli will ride here.
Yeah, I mean, throw the dart at the board in this race. Ideally, if you could get alive to all of them, I mean, the 5 is out. You could do worse in here. I mean,
Right.
there's just, you can't trust anyone. Miss Athletic, if nothing else, she's coming out of, I use the term loosely, fast races for
Exactly.
the level. She, I would think, and Jeff Crooks has got a couple in here, but they have different running styles. I would think he's going to say, listen, Lucas, break running and get to the front.
Yeah, that seems like it's going to be the best kind of play for her. She just ran off early in that last race, but maybe Lucas can just get her in a controlled, quick pace on the front end. This is a field where I don't see anybody catching if you get away.
No, exactly. I mean, nobody wants to pass anybody in here. At least Kiki's been doing 2 turns on the Tapeta. Jess's Moment, 2 turns on the Tapeta on debut. It's tough group to trust.
It is. Like Brian said, if you can get to an all ball in here, if there's ever a race to do it, it probably should be that one. Now, race number 4, it's a main $25,000 level, 7 furlongs on the main track here. Scratch the number 1. We've got a field of 6 here, and you go to the far outside, Jigsaw on top.
There's a couple things going on here. I just didn't want to take the 4. I mean,
Yeah.
I'll be perfectly honest with you. And Jigsaw's got speed to the outside, and I would assume the 4 with IRAD is going to be aggressive early, and Jigsaw will be a better price.
Yeah.
Jigsaw at least showed signs of life on the drop last time. It's Jose Ortiz, and we get outside speed here, so I do kind of think she's in a good spot.
I think she is too. The thing with him, though, is I just find him a bit hard to trust. But, again, if you don't like the 4, which will be bet down very, very low. Well, you found a stat, or I found a stat here. This is with maiden special weight to maiden claiming levels for trainer Todd Pletcher that I found a little bit interesting here with this horse taking such a significant class drop. And 29%.
Yeah.
This is on the dirt here at Gulfstream Park. You're not going to get a big ROI, but that's a solid enough sample.
I agree, and we have to be perfectly honest here. Yes, they paid $300,000 for this gun runner. Okay, Dollar Liberty. It's Mike Rapoli. It's Vinny Viola. This is a horse that just let's be honest, not going to fit into the program.
No.
Okay, and these are guys that normally, if you saw this, you'd run to the hills and say, I don't want any part of this horse. These are guys that are okay admitting, or say, hey, we're going to take a loss here. We got another stall. Put a better horse in there.
Yep.
We can lose this horse. It's okay. So I don't think, and that's why that stat is 29%. You don't have to be as worried. I just don't know if this horse can run at all.
Yeah, it's a big question mark, and I think the 6 Echo Lane getting back to a reasonable level will be all right.
Yeah, I mean, he's the only other one in here. It's a 3-horse race, and you get one of those 3 horses. If they don't win, something crazy is going to happen. I just worried maybe a lack of speed from Echo Lane. That's all.
That could happen. It needs things to fall apart late. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, race number 5 will kick off the Rainbow 6.
And they're off in the Pegasus World Cup. They're off in the Fountain of Youth Stakes. And they're off in the Curlin Florida Derby. White Arboreal almost home.
And Nyquist is still unbeaten. Orb and John Velasquez have won the Florida Derby.
Barbaro wins.
And there you have it. Northern Dancer will be the winner of the Florida Derby.
It's tradition. Every year, the stars gather for a spectacle. Stars of the racing world collide
What a sport! What a horse!
to cement their legacy in their quest for greatness. Bear witness as we raise the stakes and shatter the status quo. Watch as the brightest stars in fashion take the stage, and we forge unforgettable memories. Be part of this storied heritage. Revel in performances from the superstars of entertainment, and the unexpected awaits you at every turn. Join us in this unrivaling celebration, where champions ascend and legends are created. This is the Pegasus World Cup, where stars align.
Welcome back to Gulfstream today. Samantha Perry and Brian Nadeau with you on this blustery Friday morning. You've got me saying that word now. I can't. We've got some high winds here in South Florida, but the beauty of having the Tapeta track is even though we are off the turf course, we still have the Tapeta. It kept a lot of these races together, and in race number 5, we are off the grass onto the Tapeta. And Brian, you've got the ticket for Rainbow 6.
Take a look at it now. This race is a lot deeper that it's on the Tapeta, I think. We'll get to it in a second. This is admittedly a big rework here. Race number 6, the 4, Mr. Moore. Race number 7, I lost my best bet of the day. And now, take note, Brad upstairs just let us know, in this race number 7, and we'll remind you, Pete's upstairs too, the 7, Sam Pantaleo, is a late scratch. Okay, that was my best bet on turf. He's out. Scratch into the 2, Di Regresso. In race number 8, the top pick is the 6, Avatar Hero. In race number 9, Demo Wonder, the 4. And in race number 10, that is the ultimate dart at the wall. And I'm going to tell you what, my long shot's in there, Starry Hope, the 9. And she is a dart at the wall too.
It's a good sequence here.
yeah.
It's very tricky. I lost my best bet out of this sequence too, so I had to rework things on my late pick 5. But this race here, it's allowance optional claimers. This will be a mile and a 16th on the Tapeta track here. We do scratch the 9, Storm P, who didn't really seem to be much of a player. You go to the 5 on top therapist, Mike Dubb, Mike Maker.
You know, the original ticket was like $288. That's how difficult this could
tough.
be. Therapist, grade 1 winner, long on the turf, cutting way back. He's got to win here, a really good win. on the Tapeta as well. But Mike claimed this horse and turned him into a Grade 1 winner. Mike is so good. This is just a prep, okay?
Yeah.
He's going to be a short number. I probably should have put him underneath, but it is what it is. But this is just a prep probably for the race, the Pan American, I think, or one of these marathons that we run here. This is the right time to take a shot and beat him. With that being said, Therapist just oozes class.
Yes, he does. The cutback is worrisome, but the only win here on the Tapeta was at the mile and the 16th distance, and so having this unblemished record on the Tapeta, it's not a bad asset to have. Let's pull up the replay, because I think you and I both kind of wanted to, I don't know, I'm not going to speak for you, but stay away from this race here a little bit with Thought, Rock the Stars, and Uno Tiger.
Yeah, I agree with you. Thought's going to win this race. Ed Garden gets a neck win here over Uno Tiger and Rock the Stars. They all ran well. It was, these looping on the outside, losing a lot of ground is Uno Tiger. Rock the Stars. And I thought he might be the horse out of this race that could be the most interesting in here. You've heard me say this before. When everybody blankets on the line together, I don't love those kinds of races. It's another reason why I did pick Therapist on top in here. Your horse we need to talk about, though, because your horse is probably going to get loose in here.
That's what I was hoping for. And you would think that when you look at these Tapeta races and you see there's only one horse with some solid early foot that somebody goes after them, they really don't do that as often as you think on the Tapeta here. They kind of blanket behind them.
Right.
If this horse can get loose, he could be gone.
Yeah, I mean, Racecraft, and certainly we know Fly the W came back to, what a cool horse. Bobby DeBona's done a good job. He gutted it out the other day. I liked running with Scissors on the turf. He was my pick on the turf. He's an unknown on Tapeta, but he's going to fire a big shot in here as well. This is a spread race, and that's why I went 4 deep in here. I probably should have used your horse for another $9 is what that would have been.
It is a very tricky race to kick off the Rainbow Six sequence, but that's what we're here to help you with, hopefully. Race number 6, it kicks off the late pick 5 if you're out the first leg on the Rainbow Six, which hopefully you're not, but if you are, we'll look at my late pick 5 ticket here, and this was reworked quite a bit because of I lost my best bet and I kind of had to force a single. Race number 7, I do have the 11 on top. That's my long shot. This race got very, very hindered by scratches. I don't know what kind of price I'm going to get here. Race 8, the 2 on top, Fortuna Bell. And in race number 9, this is my 4th single, Dim a Wonder. I think this could be a quick race, and this mare could pick up the pieces late. And in the 10th and final, I do have the 7 on top, Serenade a Kitten for Victor Barboza. $24 play, and I thought this 6th race, a claiming 16,000, non-winners the 3, lifetime, a mile and a 16th on the Tapeta. We take out the 2 and the 5 from this race here, and no one for you. Okay, we'll go take it away with the 7, Most Wanted Man.
Well, this is a scratch into.
Okay.
That's admitted. Scratch into. I kind of just, it's IRAD, and you take a short price, we get that, but he's just so good, and he gets these type of horses home. I would think he'll coax a little more speed out of Most Wanted Man, and if Mike Maker's going to run him on the Tapeta, and Mike Maker, I trust. That's as simple as that. I guess I don't love him. It's a race you want to spread a little bit. You have the 1 on top?
I do.
Wow.
This horse has speed.
Okay.
And this is really one of the, I mean, there's maybe one other horse that can run with him. And first time trying the Tapeta, Pete Walder, not shown here, but in New York, he's been winning races. This is a barn that's been picking up, and you look at Mike Maker, conversely, he's 0 for 11, and that was when we printed earlier in the week. This barn has not been firing right now.
Unfortunately for you, with the 2 out, you lose a lot of value. I mean, I had this horse at 30 on the line. You still should get half of that, I would think. And, the key scratch is the 2, Hollywood Hellraiser, not only because he was probably the most likely winner, but he was going to keep your horse honest, and maybe you catch a little flyer now.
Yeah, maybe. It's a tricky race, especially due to the scratches here. Now, race 7 is even a bigger puzzle
Yeah.
here. We do scratch the 7, 8, 9, and 10. It leaves a field of 7. It starts a late pick 4. Brian will tweet that out. 1.70 miles now on the Tapeta due to the rains. We're off the grass course. And the 2, Time to Dazzle for you. Mark Cassie was a very nice winner at Woodbine.
De Regresso, 2.
Oh, pardon
There we
me.
go.
Sorry. Yep, there we go.
You know, she moves way up now that
Yeah.
it's on a surface switch. A lot of horses here do. I thought she ran very, very well last time behind Dancing and Dixie. Bubbly Champagne is very good
Yep.
for Jose D'Angelo, and she gets a little edge now. I think that we're moved to the Tapeta.
Yep.
You get no value anymore, but I do think she's very, very logical in here.
And she's been one that since they stretched her out on the Tapeta, she kind of just turned into a new
Absolutely.
filly, which will help.
Yep.
The 1 to her inside escape room. This is an interesting horse because I thought this filly would have won last time.
Yeah, I mean, she was beaten just a neck, so you can't beat her up that
That's
badly. But yeah, I agree. She should have won. I'm going to take a huge underlaid price. But she's very logical as well. And again, we're on the Tapeta throughout the course of the day.
Yeah.
We said it yesterday. Very similar today. I don't know why it would be any different with the rain and all that. Take note of the inside paths.
Yeah, it'll be a problem maybe for my horse. She was my long shot coming into this, but now with the scratches, I
Yeah.
don't know what kind of price we'll get. But Madness, this is a filly to me that looks like she can run all day. I'm excited to see her stretch out.
Yeah, I mean, DJ's got a couple in here. They got
Yeah.
Alcohol as well, the 6, and Madness in here. I agree. I mean, she's not necessarily bred for it on top, but certainly on the bottom with Mineshaft
Yeah.
down there, and she could move way up. The odds are all out the window here with the surface switch and the scratches, unfortunately, as well. Another horse that you like that's going to really lose some value for you.
Yeah, it will. And it's tough to trust some of these fillies when they're young like this, too, because it is more importantly on the Tapeta, because you have some horses like Alcohol, the 6 in this field, who put together 2 wins back-to-back. And I get it. It was a stake race last time, but it was not a good 4th place finish.
I agree. No,
Yeah.
I totally agree with you there, and she's vulnerable here, I think.
Yeah. Race number 8. It's a claiming $25,000 level. 5.5 furlongs on the Tapeta track. 4 fillies and mares, 3 and up. It's a clean race of 7 here. The 6, Avidal Hero for you. Johnny Velasquez gets in the saddle for Guadalupe Preciado.
Yeah, it's a good horse for him to ride, right? I mean, this
Yes.
is perfect for Johnny. He can be outside a little bit, stalking, pressing if he wants. He's got some gears to work with here. She's run very, very well sprinting on turf and Tapeta, and she should offer a little bit of value here. You can see, everybody's mixed together in here. Obviously, no action's going to take all the money with
Yep.
Rohan and Irad, but I don't think she has to win.
No, and it's important to note that Rohan does have 2 in here. He's got the 2 Fortuna Bell, which you have in the mix as well. This is a significant class drop. Although facing state breds last time, it's still a big class drop.
I agree. Yeah, it's still a drop as well, and I thought she ran okay last time. With she was 2-path chasing the inside speed, who held very well to be second. She basically got fried.
Yeah.
Might not have to work as hard today, and you can see it in her form. This is third start off a pretty significant little layoff. Third start off a layoff. Excuse me. She's moving forward.
Yeah, she is. And the outside horse, you don't have her at all. Force's Sweetheart on the class drop. No, for her.
How do you know? I mean, she's trying Tapeta. She bombed at Saratoga. I know she was 37-1. It's a guess with her.
Yeah.
She handles it. Golf clap to her. But again, another horse it's got some question marks, and another horse that's going to be bet.
Yeah. The 9th race, I would say this is our feature race. It's a really good one on the dirt. 6 furlongs for fillies and mares, 3 and up. Allowance optional claimers. We do lose the 2 Road Town out of here. That was my best bet of the day. I had to rework some things. Dimma Wonder, was that always your top pick?
Always my top pick.
Okay.
Yeah.
Take it away.
Well, we're going to show you how much better she could have run last time.
Yeah.
If she had a fair go. But let's take a look at the replay here. She is just this is just not working out for her. And Edwin Gonzalez is just kind of putting the jackpot here. There's nothing really he can do. You can see her. She gets sandwiched here. There's just nothing Edwin can do. And look at this. I mean, this is as bad as it gets. So
Yeah.
This is as the similar to there off you lose, but this was in the middle of the race when he was moving, so we just draw a line through it. This is a horse that I misspoke. This is a horse now third start off a significant layoff. I think she ran huge in her comeback. I'm not going to hold that against her. And as good as Juliet's, if Juliet's rose anywhere, as good as she could be, She's facing winners for the first time, so it's a
Yeah.
good spot to try to beat a horse. It's going to be a very, very short price.
Yeah, Juliet's Rose, I wasn't sure what to make of. It was a very impressive victory, but and I'm not saying that this is a very tough field, but it's hard to come back
Well, I agree.
like you do. And I feel like Demo Wonder, like you, is just kind of a specialist at this. And Juliet's Rose, we're not really sure where to go with yet. The number 8, Olga, I don't know where that race came from last time.
You said it perfectly. I mean, you believe that race? If you do, you probably get a better price than you should on a horse that
Yes.
ran freaky fast last time. I just don't believe in the race at all. I mean, she's got to prove it again to me.
And then we've got a Jimmy Toner horse. Jorge Ruiz is riding lights out for
He
this
sure
barn
is.
right now. Had a sneaky win yesterday. Speed here?
Wow, there's so much of it.
There is,
That's
yeah.
the problem here, okay? 3 Pokes is going from the inside right up front. The 3 is going as well. Certainly Juliet's Rose isn't letting anybody get in the way here. Paco's on the 7. Olga's got to go from out there, too. This could be a meltdown race.
Yeah.
I think that's the other reason why we probably both like Demo Wonder in here.
Yeah, most definitely. Race 10, the finale on this 10 race card on Friday afternoon. 5.5 furlongs on the Tapeta track. This is a claiming 12-5 level. Scratch the 5, wheeling and dealing. I lost my top pick out of here. You've got the 9. Sorry, Hope, you said it's your long shot.
And this is a capital L in here. I have no idea what we're going to get. But I will say this. The only time she's really run fast of late was sprinting on turf. I know she's run twice on Tapeta and hasn't hit the board. I'm just going to key off that race. There's horses in here I think that are tricky and tough to trust at underlaid prices. The scratch of the 5 hurts the speed of the race because I thought this could be another fast race.
Right.
But I'm just going to take a shot in here.
Yeah, I think this is a race where you could do it if you certainly don't trust the favorites. We both have interest in the 2, Magic Moonstar. Let's show the replay.
She ran
And
pretty
you-
well.
Yeah, she did.
She's down inside here. She's at 3, okay? And this is very similar to what we just showed you with Demo Wonder. Sammy Camacho's just in a bad spot here.
Yeah.
There's not a lot he can do. She wants to run. It's not there. There's no seam. He can't bull his way through. So he's just got to kind of try to get her to settle a little bit. And she doesn't really want to. And now she's going to come through. But she was very flat, okay? And this, you go back on November 12th, this was definitely a dead rail day. And this proves our point that we talk about it a lot. This horse is in quicksand down there, okay?
Yeah.
And I think also she paid the price for all her aggressiveness early on. What's she doing in here for 12.5? That worried me.
Yeah, this is a barn. I mean, everybody likes to win races, but
No,
I
I
feel like
know.
they're a bit more aggressive. But yeah, I agree. You could count that as a bad or not an ideal thing, but she definitely doesn't need to have a trip like that in order to make a dent.
No, that's for sure. She needs clear sail.
Yes, she does, most definitely. That is our 10 race card here. We've got our lightning round coming up and some big things going on this weekend, kicking off with tomorrow, our feature.
Yeah, the Allen Jerkins tomorrow, 2 miles on the turf. It remains to be seen. We've got a real weather situation here in Florida. But long-distance runners are going to go at it regardless. And this is Value Engineering actually winning the Jerkins last year when it was moved off the turf.
Yep.
Had a 1 and 5 ace, and he did it nicely. And he just oozes class. He's a lot like therapists today. I
Yep.
mean, he's just class through and through. And regardless, hopefully, obviously we're hoping on the turf here, but he's a real problem regardless of the surface.
Yeah, he is indeed. It's a deep field
Sure
and
is.
a tricky one to kind of figure out. And of course, we'll keep you updated on weather conditions. But that horse is a big player, regardless of the surface. And tomorrow we've got Beat the Expert. Brian had a good Saturday last week to kick things off, but I'm in the hot seat this time around.
There you go. And
Yeah.
it's a tricky 11-race card tomorrow. It's a very, very good card. And $500 up for grabs here if you're local at Gulfstream Park and $50 online. So check the website out. And you got to beat Samantha. And she did not have a good Saturday, as she said, but she's been humming along pretty good here at the championship meet.
Well, we're both trying. We're doing
We
what
are.
we can. And coming up, Taste of the Track, we've kind of implemented this earlier in the summer, and I've been doing it one weekend of the month. But Sunday, December 17th here, the holiday edition.
Yeah, that's Sunday. We usually do these on Saturday, but it'll be Sunday this year. It'll be a lot of fun here. I It sounds like, knock on wood, the weather will be out of the way by Sunday. So get your tickets because these sell out, and we've been fortunate to pop upstairs. We can only eat up there. That's the unfortunate part.
Yeah,
But
no spiced eggnog.
No spiced eggnog. Very festive up there.
Yeah.
Food's great, and have a cocktail or 7.
We'd lost both of our best bets today, so we're on long shot duties.
Yeah, I'm later, and I'm in all the way in the finale here in
There
race
you
number
go.
10 with the 15-1 Starry Hope.
And I'm not so sure what kind of price I'm going to get on mine anymore. Madness in race 7. I don't think she'll be 30-1 just due to the scratches.
Yeah, and the surface switch too, I think helps her as well.
Yep, it does. That's our pack of 10 for you today. We'll be out with you throughout the whole day to give you a little bit more insight. Best of luck. We'll send it upstairs to Pete Aiello with the scratches and the changes.